Alright, it is Sunday afternoon. All the Thanksgiving leftovers have been eaten. All the company is gone. I'm going to have some time to kill, so I thought today I will just put together a rough video on how to make venison stock to put in a venison stew that we're going to make later on to eat on during the week. So, to start out with, you need your oven set at 450 degrees. You need you a good, in this case I'm using a cast iron skillet, but you can use a good heavy bottom oven tray. Ingredients are very simple. We have some olive oil, have some roughly chopped carrots, roughly chopped onions, garlic, just crushed with the flat of the knife. I like garlic, so I have 5 cloves in there. If you don't like garlic, omit it all together. And then 2 leg bones from a deer that was shot a few weeks ago. Now the key to all this is to brown all of these ingredients that you see here, and then we will put them in a pot of water after they're done in the oven, and then we'll simmer that and get a nice brown stock that you can use for stews, chilies, demi-glace, anything that you like. So to start off with, we're just going to take our ingredients. And I apologize for the camera work. This is my first time and I'm using my phone. Don't have to be pretty with it because you're not actually going to be eating these ingredients. You're just going to be extracting the maximum amount of flavor out of them. And then we'll just pour over some olive oil. And what we're doing with the olive oil, yes, it adds flavor, but it's just to coat ingredients and help with the caramelization of the browning of the root vegetables and the meat. And we'll put this in the oven for about 30 minutes, and we'll check it. Remember, the darker these get, you don't want them burnt. You just want to get them nice dark golden brown. The darker the color, the darker your stock will be. And then you should hopefully wind up with a nice sediment on the bottom. We'll deglass the pan with some cold water, scrape that off, and that will further flavor our stock. So there we have just your garlic, onions, carrots, a couple of leg bones of venison. Now you can do the same thing with beef, you can do the same thing with chicken. Lightly coated with olive oil. We're not worried about seasoning at this stage because we're going to season our stock as it simmers. So now we're going to put it in our preheated 450 degree oven, and we will see that in about a half hour. Okay, and here's our venison bones, onions, and carrots. To be honest, I know I said 30 minutes, but I've actually let this go about 45. Just remember, cooking recipes are guidelines. Time is not a fixed thing. So what we were trying to achieve is the color we wanted and not necessarily adhering to any strict timetable. So that having been said, we're going to transfer venison bones, these lovely root vegetables, and I apologize for the sloppy camera work, but it's rather difficult holding a utensil in one hand and the phone in the other and trying to make sure everything is in shot. And I know you're seeing me put in some bits of onion and garlic skin, but don't worry, because like I said earlier, you're not going to be eating this. All of this is going to be strained. Okay. So now, the pan is hot, and we'll pour in some water. This is deglassing the pan, and basically that sediment that I spoke of earlier. And work on getting bottom. And you can see the water in here is already turning a nice deep brown color. And while you're watching me do this, I will say if you go online or go on YouTube, there are a myriad of recipes on how to do this. Mine is not the only one, obviously. And it may not necessarily be the best, but this is how I do it. I'm just trying to knock up a quick and simple stock to use in some dishes that I will be fixing later on. Okay, as you can see now, we've got a nice brown stock in the pan. We come back, we're going to transfer this into our pot. We've got it set on about a medium heat to start out with. You don't want to boil this. You want to simmer this for, we'll probably simmer this for at least a couple hours. We're going to just cover the bones with some nice cold water. We'll add some salt and pepper, cover, and we'll check it after a couple hours. We'll check it as it cooks. If we need to add a little bit of liquid, we will. We'll check for seasoning. We need to add some salt and pepper, we'll do that. But we'll see you here in a couple hours and see how this turns out. Give or take 2 hours later, and this is where we're at. We have poured off the contents of the stock into a colander. We've strained it through a sieve, and this is the end result. Very dark brown, very rich, very meaty venison stock. But none of the ingredients that went into it are going to be wasted. To this plate here, to the left of the pot, we have the remnants of our onions, our garlic, our carrots. This will go to our chickens out in the coop. And in this plate we have the venison bones. They will go to the dogs. And here, this is just some of the skimming off the top of the stock as it simmered. Some of the fat and the bits that came up to the surface that you don't want in your final product. That could be mixed into the dog's food. They'll enjoy that very much. But to fully appreciate the final quality of the stock we have here, this has been seasoned with salt and pepper to taste. See, it's very clear. There's hardly any bits in it. Nice dark brown stock. And it can be used for any number of dishes. We're going to use it for some venison stew. We're going to use it for chili. You can use it to make a demi-glace. But anything needing a stock, and especially it's important to note, if you're cooking venison, this adds another layer of flavor. I mean, if you're out there, if you're going to kill the animal, you want to use as much of the animal as possible. You don't want to waste any of it. So this is just another way to use, the leg bones, the neck bones, anything that normally would be thrown away. You can use it, and with just a few simple root vegetables and some water, a little bit of salt and pepper, you can make this very rich stock. And it can be used to enhance any number of dishes, especially if you're cooking with venison. If you're going to make venison stew, instead of using the packets from the store of regular chicken or beef stock, which tend to be too salty, use homemade venison stock. It just takes that, that animal, and you can get so much more out of it. I know this has been a rough production. It's certainly not professional by any means, but if you've enjoyed what you see here, just comment, let me know what you think, any constructive criticism or critiques, and I hope to make more videos in the future. Thank you.